What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Trey Jones. Today we're going to be talking about the number one anxiety mistake. All right. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Dr. Google himself. Go ahead and smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this is something you struggle with. I think pretty much everybody that's dealt with some severe anxiety has probably dabbled in with the Dr. Google game. Okay. We're going to talk about that, why it's a bad idea, and why you need to stop doing that today. Some of you are stubborn. Some of you are hard-headed like I was. But I will just be for real. It is impossible to recover if you continue to Google your symptoms, especially if you have health anxiety. All right. Remember, the description down below has tons of resources, including my tips to help you with anxiety. If you're interested in coaching one-on-one, my email is down there as well. Just reach out to me and I'll send you my coaching program info, therapy, social media. Everything's down there in that description. I won't waste any more of your time with that. But guys, I dealt with anxiety for 5 long years. That last year was a recovery period. And during that recovery period, I had to do many different things. I'm talking about a lot. We're not just talking about diet, not just exercise. It was cutting off sources of external reassurance that wasn't really doing me any good. Whether that be me calling my mom all the time because she was a nurse, asking her for reassurance. Is this okay? Am I having a heart attack? Am I having a stroke? Constantly needing that, as like a little bit of comfort, right? A line of reassurance. Maybe checking my vitals, so my heart rate, my blood pressure, going back for constant testing, always being in a doctor's office, an ER, a hospital, always asking my family and friends for advice, staying on forums. But one of the biggest things I had to get away from and get away from fast was Googling my symptoms. This really drove anxiety to a new level for me, and it is causing so much damage for those of you out there that continue to do it. Maybe this is the first time that you have heard that Googling your symptoms is bad for anxiety. Take my word for it. I think it is one of the things that was the difference between me having a panic attack and just getting myself under control and handling my root causes of anxiety and being like, wow, my anxiety got out of control. And the difference between that and having crippling health anxiety for years. Tons of panic attacks, horrible symptoms, hundreds if not thousands. All right. So I'm going to walk you through how this happened to me and why it's so damaging, in hopes to motivate some of you that will not stop Googling to finally stop. You always want to know the things that you can do for your anxiety. I get questions all the time. What are some anxiety tips and what do I need to start doing? Well, I have good news, my friends. There is something that you can simply just not do. Holy crap. You have a choice to Google. You have a choice to open your laptop and type in a symptom that you're dealing with. You have a choice to open up your browser on your iPhone or whatever phone or whatever device you're using, a tablet, who cares? Whenever you enter that stuff in, that is your choice. You have another choice that you could be making to not do it. Anxiety makes us think that we don't have choices. We feel like we have to. When in reality, we have a choice. We're just being motivated by fear. And you think that you are trying to protect your life. You think that you are trying to preserve your life, get help by Googling, but you are ironically doing the opposite. You are causing so much damage. You are setting yourself up for so many new fears in the future, even if not initially. You guys have to stop doing it. All right? So my issue was I had a bunch of things that were starting to mount on me. The stress was starting to add up. I had a horrible, unhealthy lifestyle at that time. I was drinking every day. I was smoking tons of cigarettes a day. I was eating horrible. I wasn't working out. I had dropped out of school. I had so much potential and I was wasting it. Just partying, not getting much sleep, not really holding on to a good job. And this mounted up. And I had a 2-day bender where I went drinking and partying with my friends, just the worst of the worst. Came back. My subconscious had enough, and I finally had my first huge panic attack. It lasted a total of 6 hours. So all these symptoms came out of nowhere. It started with me being very conscious of my breathing and my heart rate. And then my heart rate started to get faster and faster and faster. And I started to worry, and then bam, the adrenaline hit. And a lot of you out there watching know what that feels like. If you've ever had a panic attack, it is this crazy rush. It is scary. It's terrifying. You think you're dying. You think you're having a heart attack. Of course, at the time, that wasn't the first thing that I thought. At the time, I thought, oh my God, I just feel so scared. My body is doing some crazy stuff. I just feel this impending doom. And, I thought I was dying, but I didn't really think heart attack. That's not the first thing that came to my mind because I wasn't at the initial moment having chest pain. So then I went to the computer and started to Google, which I still don't know how I was Googling all this stuff while I was feeling the way I was feeling. It's very hard when you're having a panic attack to pretty much do anything. But I remember I was, somewhat typing some stuff into a Google search to get some answers. And whenever I put in all my symptoms, fast heart rate, higher blood pressure, I knew I could feel my blood pressure was super high, tingling, numbness, in particular on my left side, dizziness, it all came back heart attack. And in that moment, since I was a negative person, and since negativity had been building on me for a long time to a point to now I'm exhibiting symptoms, I was going to believe anything negative that I saw. Because at this point, my subconscious is believing everything 100% if it's negative. If it's something positive, it's like, I don't know about that because that's not how you have wired me. That's not what you say lately. That's not how you've been acting. You haven't been acting positive, so I'm not really going to believe the positive stuff. That's not how you have conditioned me and trained me to think. So when you are in a negative state, especially if you're panicking or dealing with severe symptoms that are causing you pain or discomfort, and then you get on Google to search that, and you see cancer, ALS, MS, heart disease, whatever it is, seizures, stroke, blood clots. In that moment, if you exhibit a few of those symptoms, you are going to automatically, for most people, not all, but most people that have horrible anxiety and are wired to negativity are going to believe in that initial moment, especially the first time they Google, that they have that problem, that condition, that illness, sickness, or disease. Just like I did. Guess what, guys? For the next 2.5 years, I had cardiophobia, and I thought I had a heart problem. I thought I had heart disease because the first time I Googled, I was so negative. I became so convinced when I saw those words on the screen. I thought I was having a heart attack. And it took 2.5 years of going to the doctor, back and forth, this test, that test, tons of conversations with my mom, who's a nurse, bless her heart. It took years of me being in fear to finally convince myself that I wasn't dying of heart disease. And at that moment, I thought I was good, right? I thought I was good, but I hadn't learned my lesson, okay? Once I finally moved past the fear of heart disease and my anxiety seemed to go somewhat dormant, still lingered a little bit, I just wasn't as scared of it, I started to develop stomach pain. And you would have thought that I'd learned my lesson from Googling the first time. Well, I decided to Google some of the pain I was feeling in my stomach and tried to describe it as best as I could on there. Comes back colon cancer, or some type of gut cancer, or stomach cancer, pancreatic cancer. All of these things started popping up. And in that moment, once again, since I had not solved my anxiety root causes, since I wasn't all of a sudden now a super positive person, since I hadn't resolved my new awakened fear to death and dying and disease, once again, I find myself in this pickle. I am convinced I have colon cancer. That went on for 3 months. And then it was brain cancer. Then it was throat cancer. And then the last but not least was lymphoma before I started to recover. An important part of my recovery was stopping the use of Google. I am going to believe, until I fully recover, the negative stuff more so than the positive stuff. And I want you guys to think about something. If you're going to the doctor and you're getting all these professional tests done or exams, you have a professional, somebody that went to school for this and has seen hundreds if not thousands of people. Some of you are seeing specialists. And they're telling you that you're healthy and you don't believe them really. You don't trust them. Why would you trust some positive article that you come across on the internet that you indeed have anxiety instead of a disease? Maybe it makes you feel good for a couple minutes when you see it, but it's not going to do it for you. It's not going to rewire your new awakened fear. You know what I mean? It's not going to do it for you. If a professional couldn't make you feel that much better, then what good is a positive article amongst a bunch of negative ones going to do? You're still going to gravitate towards the negative ones. You're still going to think you're the smallest statistic. You're going to think you're the most unluckiest person in the world to get checked out by tons of people and get the same test over and over again and still be misdiagnosed. So I want you guys to take a step back from Googling. This is one of those situations where I would start out by saying just try to cut it out a little bit, but guys, this is something that you have to stop doing cold turkey. If you've been told by a doctor that you're fine, that you're healthy, you've gotten that initial reassurance that maybe just gave you peace for a few days before the symptoms came back, you have to go with that. Those of you that have been checked time and time and time and time again, had CAT scans, MRIs, blood work, EKGs, you name it, stress tests. Guys, stop thinking you're the tiniest of tiny statistics like I did. Stop Googling. You have to stop it altogether. I think there are so many people that have anxiety that lead to symptoms and then go to Google and then automatically develop health anxiety, which is one of the hardest things to get through. Because now, instead of you worrying about what caused your anxiety, what caused the symptoms initially, now you're worried about the symptoms. And then you're just trying to work recovery backwards. And that's why I suffered for 4 years before I figured this whole thing out, got the education I needed, and decided to start being patient. Stop trying to work it backwards. Stop trying to play doctor. Stop using Dr. Google, to figure out what's wrong with you. Seek a professional. Get whatever diagnosis that you're looking for. But I'll even say this. If you're getting told that you're fine and you've been anywhere and everywhere, start trying to accept anxiety. Many of you have to get better at acceptance. I know it's hard. We try to accept anxiety, we try to be positive, but the symptoms don't go away just like that or even after a few days. That's because your subconscious takes time to catch up with your conscious intentions. So acceptance is hard, but it's something you have to really practice. You have to do it, daily. You have to do it every single day. But Google is one of those external forms of reassurance that needs to go. It just triggers you. It's terrible. I would get on Google and be on there for hours. Go in thinking I had one disease, come out thinking I may have 7. And for the diseases I didn't believe I had, when my symptoms changed and I exhibited some symptoms that were, associated with that, automatically thought, oh, now I have ALS, now I have throat cancer. Because I remember reading about that, and that was a symptom of that. So you see how you just set yourself up for failure in the future? So a lot of you guys think that you're just trying to protect yourself, but you're making your anxiety worse. And this is one of the things that we hear the most. I've said this in so many videos, I can't keep up with it. I don't know how many videos, probably a lot of them. It's one of the things I tell every one of my coaching clients. I've had coaching clients that have straight up told me that they don't know if they can stop, and I have to be honest with them. I'll tell them, look, you're not going to recover if you keep doing this. You won't. One of the first things I had to do was cut out Googling. Okay? Same goes for checking your vitals. Same thing goes for constant need of external reassurance. What are you missing in your life that you need to replace Google with? An internal voice that says, look, I'm okay, I'm fine, I've been checked out by a professional, I'm healthy, I have a track record of this, I've been here, I've done that. I have to start accepting. So subconscious, you don't have to keep sending me these symptoms. I'm going to fix the root causes. I'm going to work on acceptance. You have to develop that internal voice that can say something like that and it be good enough for you. The doctor isn't lasting anymore. You call in your safe people or your anxiety people, to help you out. It doesn't last anymore. The Googling is just making things worse. Checking your vitals, you're a slave to it. You check it 50 times a day. Some of you are self-examiners. You're looking over your body, looking for lumps and bumps and something all day. Little tip on that, stop doing that as well. Maybe do that once a month just to be safe and smart. But if you're doing it every time you go to the bathroom, you're going to find something that's probably normal, but you're going to make it into something else. So it's not just Googling, it's a bunch of other things. key is get rid of the external reassurance. It's not going to last, all right? Googling, the same thing, okay? Get rid of Google and your anxiety will start to improve, okay? I promise you. And if it doesn't improve in the first 2 weeks, think about the anxiety that you're going to save yourself from, okay? So things will get better when you stop Googling. I tell everybody, including my coaching clients, like, obviously my coaching clients, I'm going to tell them everything, but 25% of my anxiety seemed to magically fly away whenever I got rid of my Googling. That's how powerful that was. That's how much in control of my fear that was. So I encourage you guys to stop doing it. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Some of you are like I said, you're going to be stubborn like I was, and you're going to have to suffer a lot more before you start picking up on some of these things. But be smarter than I was, okay? But I love you all, guys. Remember, the description has so many things. I'm sorry for being absent the past few days. I was being consistent every day, and then some things came up. So I got busy, so I apologize, but I'm back on this train, and, videos are going to be coming out. So be looking for them about the same time pretty much every day. Remember, the description has stuff. My coaching info's down there, other resources. Leave a comment again, guys. Share some good news, or if you want to just share some of the struggles you're dealing with, that's what that comment section is for. And like this video as well. And if you made it to the end of the video, comment Rainbow Warriors. Let's throw everybody off. And thank you for watching it this far. That means a lot. If you watched it this far, you are like straight up supporting me, okay? Not just with helping with ads and stuff like that, but you're supporting me as far as watch time, giving me likes, listening to everything that I have to offer, and you're going to get the most out of everything I have to offer. So thank you for watching the whole video and being patient, okay? But I love you all. Keep fighting, and I will talk to you probably tomorrow.